Hello folks, welcome back ladies and gents. I am the Nerdcraft, and in this video we're going to look at the paints and the tools that I've been able to acquire so that I can get back into the hobby. Now, as I'm sure you're more than aware, miniature painting and the hobby as a whole can be slightly expensive, but it doesn't necessarily have to be if you take it kind of slow and only get small things at a time. In this video, we're going to look at some of the basic tools that you can get, and then I've been able to kind of coalesce a lot of stuff over time and save up. So what you're going to see isn't something that I was just able to get in a weekend, but it's kind of been, I'd say, nearly 4 months in the making of just collecting and just patiently waiting and saving a bit of bob here and there, and then of course, I was able to acquire a few extra things that would be going beyond just the starter set, if you get what I mean. Now, if you're starting fresh in the hobby, you're going to need a few things. And I suppose one of the very first things is you're going to need a clipper. I mean, you can't do the old rip the plastic off the sprue. That is a crime. It's kind of like a heresy. So if you do that, yeah, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to go to like heretic prison. So get yourself a clipper, any sort. This one is from Army Painter. Feels nice, you know. It's a clipper. What else can you say? Warhammer 40,000 Citadel Essentials. So why is this great? Well, it's quite simple. If you are on a budget and you need everything in one place, you got your glue, you got your clippers, you got quite a few paints, and you get one tiny little brush there, if you can see. So we're just gonna open this up and kind of explore what we get. Oh, I didn't even need the clippers, never mind. Yeah, that looks fine. Look at that. I mean, it's a pretty good starting kit, I would say. Got yourself a little brush here, and it seems like for this one the protector came off, so that kind of sucks. Small clippers. I think I prefer the Army Painter one, this one, just because it's a bit more comfortable in the hand, while this one is kind of very small, so I mean, it's not bad for a starting kit anyway. My favorite type of glue, the plastic glue with the little thin metal nozzle, so you're really precise. Now this is a very small amount, and you can even see, well, hopefully the video can catch it, but it's not completely full. So I do have an extra bit of glue somewhere, let me see. No, I didn't actually bring it, but I do have an extra one of these just in case. And then look at all these paints. Right, we have a bit of ceramite white. Nice. Mephiston red. Now this is going to be useful for my third company of Imperial Fists, because I'm going to do them with the red trim. I do also have another paint for that, which I'll show you in a bit. Then we got Mornfang brown. Macragge blue. This is a textured paint. It's Armageddon dust. So I think if you want to use that for your base, you can. We've got some lead belcher and Abaddon black. Again, useful. Balthazar gold. That does not look like a gold to me. It looks like more of a metal silver, but anyway. Bugman's glow. Deathguard green. Oh, Averland sunset. Look at that. Another yellow. Don't know if that will... Anyway, another yellow for my Imperial Fists. Rackart Flesh for the old face, and a shade, which is excellent. Grax Earthshade, or Agrax Earthshade, never mind, that was terrible pronunciation. So, all in all, it's a pretty decent starter set. I mean, you have a variety of paints. You got your clippers, you got your cement, plastic glue, and you have one brush. Now, I'd recommend getting more than one brush, but it's not a bad starting set, especially if you want to keep costs down. I don't know if there's other companies that do the combination with the paints and the clippers and glue. I do know that there are, of course, paint sets from other companies, but yeah, seems like a decent enough set, that's why I got it. Now, if you do want to spend a little extra, I do have another little kit that I did get, and this one is from the Army Painter set, and it's in fact their little tool case. So, all the tools that you need to assemble. We've got ourselves clippers again. Let me put it up a bit. We've got a file, a hobby knife, a drill, and some sort of scraper thing. And we get a bit of green stuff. So let's open this up quickly. Right, here we go. Got a little... Oh. Gives you quite a few things to look at and see if you want to get more products from their line. So that's pretty useful. Come in handy. Assembly and safety tool guide. That's actually quite useful if you're brand new to the hobby and you want to really know best practices, I suppose. So yeah, that's actually a pretty good thing that they put this in their box. And then Army Painting Guide, free, please take one. Well, seems like a little paint guide. Again, it's pretty good, pretty useful to have and put in your box, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But now to the really good stuff. Alright, we got our green stuff here. So that's important to keep. Very thin super glue. This bottle kind of seems like it imploded on itself, but I'm guessing that's just the actual shape of it. 5 grams, I suppose. Clippers. Again, I think the ones that you buy singly, they just feel better. I'm not the biggest fan of the rounded handles. Hobby knife. That's going to be useful to get rid of some of the mold lines. A file. I do have 3 other files, so that will be added to that collection. Nice little scraper mabob, useful for, I'm guessing, the green stuff. And it does have some interesting kind of textures on the handle, which I'm guessing can be used for texturing the green stuff. And most important, a hobby drill. You can't have, you know, gun barrels that are completely stuffed up, so this will be useful for that. But yeah, just a small little hobby kit if you guys are interested in expanding beyond just the paint starting set that we looked at, and you want a few extra tools. Something to save up and put on the list, I suppose. Highly recommended. Now, next, one quick thing that I got. It's being highly recommended everywhere on YouTube and all the guides that I've been looking at, so I thought I might as well, again, put it on the list and over time save up and acquire it. And I am talking about a wet palette. I know that people can make them at home, but I just thought I'd save up and just get a, you know, one made professionally, I suppose. So yeah, I got the Everlasting Wet Palette Painter by Redgrass. I don't think there's much point in unboxing this, but yeah, that's going to become useful and handy and make sure the paints are still wet and they don't dry out. Now, another important part of the hobby is of course the paintbrushes. So I did have these from a very long time ago. They are, I believe, Army Painter paintbrushes, quite a few of them there, so that will become in handy that I still have these. And then I went and I literally spent a few quid, a very small amount, on these cheap brushes. I'm not entirely sure on the quality and how well they'll do, but they were very cheap and I thought I might as well just get a few just to have in case I want to do anything like fancy or anything that might wreck a brush that I prefer not to. And then to also go along with this, we do have a painting handle. Oh, hopefully I'll be able to open this. Citadel color painting handle. Pop your miniature in there and keep it safe and make sure you don't touch it while you're painting. So, and then a assembly kit, or no, assembly handle, so that you're not moving it and it doesn't fall apart when you're gluing it together. So pretty handy kit again. Once you see something, you know, put it on the list, save up. You don't have to buy everything at once. Take some time and then you'll get what you need, you know what I mean? And now there's one thing that I somehow managed to forget. That is, of course, you need a primer. I got the Wraithbone, the one for the contrast, but I have seen people use a variety of different types of primers. Make sure though that if you do get a primer outside of the hobby, so from, I don't know, some automotive spray can, make sure that it is still compatible with your plastic. You don't want it to, I don't know, melt or say act in a way that your paints do not turn out the way you want to be. So whatever primer you get, make sure it's still usable for the purpose that you need it for. But yeah, Wraithbone, that should be useful if I use the contrast paints. And that is actually one of the things I'll be showing you now, is the other paints that I got after the, let me see, that guy over there. So let's start off with Vallejo Squid Pink. That is an air paint because I do have a airbrush which I saved up for again over a bit of time. Nothing major, nothing fancy. I just went on Amazon and found a pretty good budgeted one where a lot of people gave it 5 stars and up, so I made sure to get a decent budget one. And on top of that we have Averland Sunset Air again. But the one thing that I plan to do is use this Liquitex. We got Cadmium Yellow, we got Titanic White, we got Muted Pink, and we have Yellow Orange Azo. So the plan is that these 4 will create my yellow that I desire. We've got primer, then we got a squid pink, then we got a muted pink for some of the darker spots, then we have the white from the top to give it a bit of highlight, and the next important part that hopefully will work, we also have a bigger Agrax Earthshade. This will go in some of the creases to really make them pop, and then of course we finish it with the yellow, and hopefully that will give the nice crisp but warm yellow that I'm looking for. So what else do we got? We got Yandin Yellow contrast paint. I really liked how it looked on one of the test bases that Games Workshop has in their store. Flesh Terror's red, so that will be something that I might use to do the trim with, but at the same time, since I have the Mephiston red, we'll experiment and see. Apothecary white. I really like this Apothecary white, and I love how the Apothecary model is normally painted, so testing out to see how this looks. We got Gore Gruntifer, so hopefully this will be for some of the browns. It seems like it's pretty dark, so I'll have to see how it turns out, but I think because I'm already using some bright colors like the yellow here and the white, hopefully it won't turn out to be too dark. We've got a Retributor armor. This actually came from the Warhammer magazine, the one with the fantasy, and I just got this as part of it. Uthlon grey. We need a grey, and I really like this one, so. And we've got Yrel yellow and Dorn yellow for some of the highlights afterwards. And then, after all that is done, after I manage to paint it and hopefully it turns out nice, we've got Army Painter Aegis suit. Hopefully this will kind of keep everything locked in, protected, and give it a slight shine. Hopefully only a slight shine. So I might have to be very careful when I'm spraying and test it out from a distance. But you can't just paint only the model. You do have to remember the base. And I happen to have, from a long time ago, some grass, very plain and simple, nothing major, and some brown battleground from Battlefields from Army Painto. So that will be useful. Hopefully this has been somewhat, coherent, and maybe it might have helped some people, look at what they want to get. Always remember, you don't need to buy it all at once. Save over time and put it on the list, and then eventually you'll get what you need. And hopefully it was fun to see the starting kit that I managed to save up over time. I will be making a video of kind of testing out the paint scheme that I want to do, and I have a box of easy to build Reavers that I'm gonna use to experiment with. I've kind of bought them because I want to use the heads for, say, characters. So I thought it was a win-win scenario where I can use some models to test and also get some nice looking heads. Do let me know what you think. Hopefully this has been useful and has been entertaining. Stay tuned for the next video, which will be the testing. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like the video, I guess. Check out the Instagram. Hopefully I'll have a link somewhere. If not, yeah. And don't forget, folks, I shall see you in the next video.